It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler.
Oh. So she's still just a puppet. But just now... what? Where are we going this time?
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every... The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency.
How... Traveler?
Traveler?
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through... So they're just
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? Just like the ones from the legend?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away?
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting weird. Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host! What a surprise! Purple Padisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, it's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Padisaras. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware that... How should we make Nilu realize...
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali respond?
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, as far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream.
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like...
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as his wife lying next to him said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you?" In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story?
Yes, but his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sub-Zero's festival is almost over too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sub-Zero's as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sub-Zero's.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilu's dance.
Traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep. Paimon's head feels... Paimon thinks it was... The Sub-Zero... Have we finally escaped from the Sub-Zero Samsara? Quick! Take off your Akasha terminal! She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What? Well done, Traveler. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad!
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I just had a dream. And I saw Nilou performing the dance of...
Take flight!
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zeros and... Dunyarzad. It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. After we parted on the last day of the Sub-Zero's festival, among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dream, such a small fragment of conscience where both will gradually fade. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad. Huh? Why are you two smiling so happy? Both are fine. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faith at the Avidia Forest. You also heard someone's voice, right? Yeah, so you do know. It seems like the Traveler established, as you two probably know. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared. A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Okay, so what does the message... I still haven't met Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's many devoted scholars, but I believe this. So the tree and the vision, but even if you keep the Traveler was in defect, no. We must... This puzzle has life and death at stake. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness. How did you do that? Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been... I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, at that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in... However, I do understand that they had hoped to find... So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient, and I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at this. Thank you for the kind words. But trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom, and that there's never been any big problems with the Academy. I wonder what caused them to, even though the city's residents haven't noticed it. I tried to do some investigating, and I think they're deliberately... Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville? Regardless, I need to first investigate. You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams? Yeah, it's been such a long... It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one... Misdirection? The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom, even if the truth is that their dreams are being with their propaganda in place. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. Anyway, the perspective advocate by now, even those who never used got it. I hope, to be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's faith... Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activity. Go and get some sleep. What a relief.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I...
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalk.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Aw.
Just standing around. How absurd.
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again?
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for...
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? And if possible, please also use your camera to...
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appeared... In that case, please go to Port Ormuz...
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will...
Paimon's got it.
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't... From when she said... Ad Astra Abyss... So it's been you this whole time? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace. And I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone... Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? No! We aren't pitying. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she... Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar, but for the moment, our top focus should... Right. Who knows what... So our first priority should be invest... Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Let's continue our chat. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how... Actually, I've already done a little bit of work. I've already tried that. But all the key members of the... It seems that from the very... Have you already caught the sage's attack? I'm guessing not yet. In any case, I probably can't take... We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them. After all, every person in Sumeru City is... No way, that's... You mean it'd be too... No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve... Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own self. That's a good point. Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academe... Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people, then I should find someone who's already involved. But you're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he... Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember... Setaria. Paimon remembers now. We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she... I've always liked observing all kinds of people. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to come soon after. The star witnessed the sun scorching. The star began to waver. But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research, but she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will say she's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become right. We must somehow make her that way. Not only can we get useful intel from her, but from my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in this. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots. This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune teller about Setaria? No, I already have enough information on Setaria. The most important thing now... Talking style?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over the divine voice of wisdom? Often echoes between mine ears.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been with...
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune?
It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of...
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The gods have spoken. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so...
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial...
Is that so? Well,
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helps Sataria when they start talking with him.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
we caught wind of your great craftsmanship.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild?
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it...
That's nice. You're making...
So is your...
Oh, no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough Mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the...
I see. We wish him peace and happiness. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia.
Nahida, you've
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens after...
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at...
Ah, that's right! After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and... But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing!
Sure, but you'll find hard...
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees...
I see. Guess that makes sense.
Thank you so much.
So, was that it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of all the information we've collected?
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos, although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her home...
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So...
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for it if we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers. But if we were to borrow...
So, you mean you're going...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted as long as everything goes smoothly? Well,
Ah, so that's how you're going to use...
exactly. So,
Huh? Best of luck!
that's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an aka.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious what...
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these...
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only...
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
A blade and
Here she comes. Satori is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kind of... Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking...
Okay then. You just seem... Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they?
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you...
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over.
I hear you. No problem at all.
Sorry, your new laugh is just so hilarious. I couldn't help it.
Please pay. The gods are asking. Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know it?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the god. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to...
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course...
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only... I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida.
All I know are some abstract Harava-taught theories. In any case, anyway, enough of that.
She's out of games now. Right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about...
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout...
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray...
Akeem! You don't mean...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one...
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to...
Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan.
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. I celebrated the Sub-Zerus Fest.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly trick...
Shishan, don't tell me that...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards, which...
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me.
Please, try to remain calm, miss.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly...
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible. The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt all—
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really—
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just—
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages. If you could provide some assistance in this matter.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the sage?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest, but I know very little about the full scope of the I've just been working to meet the However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even—
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their—
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sage— let me see— let's see—
The academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more—
All right, I trust you.
So,
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro—
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of— Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again—
pray. But if we're going to pray to the gods,
No. The truth is the—
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade em- embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes. exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated.
Catherine, we're here! Oh,
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
shh. We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off.
Well, regardless. Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Setaria managed to distract all the guards.
Brace yourselves. Yahoo!
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Taina? And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she must have been talking about the... Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, but what are the Fatui after this time? Yeah. Things what Nahida said, we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't... you mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on... Even though he turned it down at the time. There's no time to lose.
Brace yourselves. Wouldn't gliding be faster? Here we go! Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Here! Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenary?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like... We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of...
The outcast? But why why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wait.
You're up, Trap.
Think you can get away? Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
Shake it and stir. Think you can bully me?
Useless!
That's close enough.
Disappear!
Here!
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Take flight! Time for takeoff. Brace yourself.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries? Yeah. Looks like we'll have. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty. Going up against smart people is tough. Diana, stop! Oh, it's the Traveler in Pipe. Holly!
To be honest, I'm not doing. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he...
Oh, Master.
He left? But isn't Tainari always...
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. No, I only found out that he left through a message to leave in some... Master Tainari originally studied in the Immortal. I know that before he became a forest.
A research base, huh? Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI.
Don't worry.
Got it. Will do.
Traveler, you've come at a...
Wait, this sounds like
It is as...
Huh?
Not long ago, we...
Contaminate?
I don't know about the Avidia for... That's why I want to ask you to investigate the situation.
This is forest. okay? We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a touch and we...
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing the dock, even a pool of stagnant water.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't...
Well, we understand that point now. Please.
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Instead, he did something closer to creating Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture...
What a relief.
I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost also. The doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then, how do we stop? Ugh. It feels like he's toying with us. What a nat plus! The doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make...
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we...
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental energy. So You didn't come here for sightseeing.
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sage is one...
Okay.
Traveler?
The voice! It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest.
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about... Wait, no. Did you already finish your...
My consciousness has all...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating when my consciousness made contact with the...
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand my current self has not only gained true...
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but...
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneo with me.
Where are you...
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity.
no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine conscience?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh, great.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Periporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive...
Apasia?
That's how I always thought it... Wait, have I... already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different. You're back!
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine. After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? Wait, then where...
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't..." But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for good. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, even in a moonless night, a shower of... Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about...
Your guess is correct, but the situation
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side.
Thank you, Tighnari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join them, all I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad.
Tighnari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of a...
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have all... Now that you mention it, I knew the act, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have, from your description, I don't think they've completed their project, but then, what is the connection?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much...
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things if you're planning to go into the desert. Start by heading for Caravan REDBONE. Come find me here if there's anything else.
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully...
Boring!
We finally made it to camp. So, just... Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haven went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Don't miss out.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of person. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academy.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academy?
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia...
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos, which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ainul Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all, but that does prove you do have some No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own.
That's right! We have the same plan as you!
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village.
It's always better to travel with someone you know.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven.
Whoa, this...
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you...
Alhaitham, do not think you can escape my judgment.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist.
Seemed to me more like you're...
Who is that?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him.
Has Alhaitham done something wrong?
I won't waste my breath explaining. Take it out. The Divine Knowledge Capsule you're hiding on your person.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia? As far as I'm aware, the other... Have you been given a mission that... If I was the real target of your mission, What was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to
I should have known you'd be difficult to...
You two! Ugh! What you would do, Traveler?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust. You gotta help us out here.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the academia duking it out once and for all. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty... But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skull. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently? Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks...
All right, stop you.
Well, this is... Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace.
Our savior. Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so...
There's no need to thank me.
Wow. She's so gentle and caring. Like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all... As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, and now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make... So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the...
Oh,
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's...
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway,
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Alhaitham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally due. Rather, I've chosen to
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I began to realize that, unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request. The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have...
So they really are...
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold. They are meaningless to the I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, well, Sino, if that's your story, then...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between... The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the divine knowledge...
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating...
Alhaitham!
After all, The promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics, their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. So, I began my own investigation following the lead of... Had I been less guarded, I probably...
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting, so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile...
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of... You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebot.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth... I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt... After all, curiosity often proves to be...
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham. Now, answer me this. Did the sages share any information about the...
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two. And now you, Dia.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to our village for a visit. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a...
Is that all? Well...
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Can.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home.
Creatures?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at...
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry.
The wind's died down. That means Candace still isn't back yet, though.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little...
Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out...
Yes. They just keep coming in waves.
Here comes it!
Leave this round to us. I get...
It's been quite a while since
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Embrace the ice! Think you can get away? Here we go!
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Here!
The creatures stopped appearing. Was that the...
What we fought just now was probably the after...
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full. I am the chief of Aru village.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not...
I can't say they've always been common, but recently, besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an
Another of... So, Irminsul's withering causes
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul.
Everyone in Aru village... speaking...
Village Keeper?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to Matt. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. After the academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So...
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to... But no one in the village has ever seen them leave.
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer...
Mock me if you will. But if you are guilty, I will...
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, but, is it really a good idea to tag along with some...
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No, I'd start by finding a spot to share what... Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright. After that, the people of Aru Village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting... Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino...
In theory, they would continue wearing them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact...
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story... So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us?
No, it's not. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro. The academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord. In addition, I've never heard any stories of...
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's
I've spent many years in terror.
Good! Then you should know
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think.
Alright, now it's our turn to put, but easier said than done.
Excuse me, are you here to...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa mad?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you.
Ah, so you're the one who... I was planning...
Whoa.
Sorry, I was only listening.
All right. But...
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something.
Huh? You...
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned. Unfortunately, it was only a few years later. An elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa suddenly So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time.
All this somehow just makes my...
Perhaps. It's also my reason for...
Maybe the people have always had a considerate...
Huh?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keep...
Perhaps you are more compassionate.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you, God.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your...
Really? Yeah.
All right.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road. Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's... But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange.
Do you also think Grandpa...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own... It still feels pretty surreal now that I think... Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out...
Gotcha! Sir, have you...
Oh, well, if it isn't... The last time I saw him, he was pacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked... And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make an...
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. Well, once you found him, I've known you since you were very young.
Wow, what an...
Okay.
Huh? Don't say anything for... Let's head over there.
I want to be like this Dia when I grow up. It's all a bunch of nonsense.
Listen, see if you can make out...
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only still. You say he's coming back, but...
Haven't you noticed?
The Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad...
Huh. Now that...
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah, bro, this guy's something else.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay?
Okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet...
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a...
Hey.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars, and would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all... Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time...
Is that...
seems like he's...
Got it! Please, don't beat me.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike...
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days.
No, not at all.
Sounds like you're not too close with...
No, of course...
I have many ways, so you'd best just stay. Don't do anything.
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually stayed.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't, but are you okay? Are you getting
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell.
So, you know Tainar?
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate...
Wait, surely
No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest.
What are you looking for?
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. The scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the...
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they like.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their mind. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all—
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's...
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform...
Right. The darker fabric definitely
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sound...
Oh, dear!
You bet. So...
Reasonable.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert, but it seems someone from beyond the wall must have been.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then?
If it was any other day, that would be... Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern?
If Paimon remembers correct...
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the Academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's...
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a...
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right... Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a... Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual... I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll... Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time.
I know what you mean. I had the same question. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall It was only after I grew up that I realized. The Wall of Samiel isn't just there to... Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believe geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here.
Yep, we got.
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want our mission started the moment we arrive. Let's go check out the tavern.
Boring! Useless!
Just our luck. None of them are here.
You mean you?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for...
Zaki.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it?
We've had drinks together a few times. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too...
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Have you seen Enger?
Of course I have. Matter of fact...
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe...
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family.
Yes, how considerate of you.
Get out of here.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is...
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on... Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar...
So, you've been watching...
Uh-oh.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really thought...
So you and Delavar...
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling... But you got one thing right.
If that's the case, then
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the wall...
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet...
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars.
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just...
You're not wrong.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
following orders.
You can bully me!
Yahoo! Yeah, time for takeoff.
My apologies.
Yeah! Here we go. Yeah. Think you can get away? Let's play.
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. Even though you heard we went to handle that so-called flame main is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were... Okay, that's...
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru...
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people...
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back!
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch...
Oh! You mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed book...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when their alcohol has a way of making...
What about...
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find... That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right?
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making...
Wow!
Ah, you're too kind.
So, that...
Hmm?
About how mercenaries only...
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert...
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief, but I see through it all.
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right.
Candace, do you need...
Candace will be okay on her own. She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now.
While I'm questioning them...
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope...
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. Well,
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace.
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong conviction. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from...
Well, Paimon thinks he...
Really? Thanks.
Oh, Cyno's here.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation.
Oh,
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm.
Yes, yeah.
Please, don't beat us anymore.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves. Yet you do not hesitate. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here, to my village.
Mercy!
You've made your... We may both be desert dwellers. But there is one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. A war would only cause us to lose all...
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it was some mystery man told...
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll
yes, it was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return,
That's one.
Huh? One...
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know it. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a... You gotta believe me, please.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of... Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the Village Keepers away. It strikes me now that this secretive...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was... They were the ones who brought them here to begin with.
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the...
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. Regardless, our top...
You're right.
Time to go.
Yes.
You got it. Can't...
All right.
Let's meet back here once... Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here mute... Hey, what's with the side...
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it...
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly... Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the
Yep. We're not Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with...
Alhaitham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're all tough!
While you were investigating,
Really?
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation. Not to mention that going separate ways...
Huh? Right?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But...
What does that...
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean, some of them like...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been... The reason being, to someone who only wants to live...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look...
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the I mean...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the Radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them, even though they act a little...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, they...
Then why would she...
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why...
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of the...
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get... Go on.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. Before, I wouldn't... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get...
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of anyone, but even so, we've met lots of people from different places. We have friends in Sumeru.
My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. Speaking
of which, the Radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell... I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely this. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar, but because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that...
There's really nothing around these parts.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been a...
Yeah, let's go!
yourselves. Time for takeoff. Sakura swirl!
Boring!
Think you can bully me? Can't handle your dreams, huh?
Disappear! Worthless!
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had, super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and
Hey,
patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
and just like that, he sits down. Wait, what are you reading? Let Paimon see!
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the position.
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knew. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below. Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they oh, it looks like there are other
Useless! Evil conquering! Worthless! Here! Here!
I'll lead the way.
Give me a moment to compose myself.
Look, there's someone else. Good idea. Let's approach him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and also, why is he...
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up...
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too... Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh? Why did...
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention...
Correct. The Academia is behind all. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are... The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross...
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't...
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, an exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge.
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of it.
Paimon's a little confused.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the... However, I can't... The Academia is going... I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to know...
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands...
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. But I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of...
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The academia's actions run... Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy?
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru. And the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but...
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we return.
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital...
Yep, pretty much!
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Since Divine... Yet... They fled once we were headed to the...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our...
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any...
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are, simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive... If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra.
You're saying that the academia entered my information, but what's the point in doing that?
The Akasha is capable of computing. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When
it predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Cynoid here. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable. Cyno, don't take it to heart. This just proves...
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I...
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity for safety.
Oh, so that's it! If the Academia is trying to avoid... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go...
You want to go?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like we're missing...
Here we go. Yahoo! Where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have...
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Something akin to a... Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because they're... Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching?
This is definitely a device used to extract...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be...
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which...
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as...
Dia? Why would you... Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa?
This comp...
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great... Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew.
I'm not the type that's easily...
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than...
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King.
It's not too late yet. The village keep... mad...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our fate...
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and with these scholars in our custody.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also...
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King.
It's impossible to commute, perhaps.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to... These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly...
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out...
Think you can...
I'm not trying to persuade you.
You are the scribe.
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King.
You academia scum. Every last one of you.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't...
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right... Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia...
An arm from the... What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friend...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying.
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it! Stop!
What's wrong?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friend.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry, but...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with it if it came down to it. You would not lose to...
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would...
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and...
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grand...
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should...